Shannon, which is the real team? The one we saw in the first half or the one we saw in the second half?
I think they're more in line with the second half. What about you, Skip? That's what I be thinking.
I want you to be objective for once.
Okay, how about this here? I'm going to be totally
be honest and objective.
Okay.
Speak your heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skip, I told you, because their defense is the weakest unit, what you try and do is you try to minimize the opportunities that they're going to be on the field. In order for you to do that, you need to possess the football. And you need to get 7s instead of 3s. They got out to an early lead, and that punt, that fumble punt, that flipped the momentum. But at the end of the day, they started going punt, 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 INT.
Yep.
And then the Rams got a rhythm. They're not the same team. They're the same team physically. But the Broncos gave you the blueprint. Stop Zeke. Force Dak to beat you. If Dak throws for 330 yards, 350 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns, you walk to the middle of the field, you shake his hand, say, damn good performance, son. But teams don't believe he can consistently do that. They're gearing up to stop Ezekiel Elliott because he's the guy that drives that train. I know he's the quarterback, and I know the quarterback he's the most important position. But without Zeke, and Commissioner, he's in New Orleans. Called Zeke the other day. Called Zeke. Hey, Zeke, you know what this is? He's like, is this you, Mr. Commissioner? He's like, yeah, I ain't forgot about you. Click. Your defense isn't very good. I tried to tell you this all offseason. Oh, we got a Woozier. We got Jordan Lewis. We got Nolan Christmas Carol because he just be giving up them touchdowns like a Christmas joy. Open present. Tried to tell you this. Now,
what did you tell me after opening night? Opening Sunday night.
Giants laid an egg.
They laid an egg.
Yeah.
The team that you picked to win the division scored 3 points against my defense that you say is historically bad.
And you know what, Skip? Ever since that picture got posted about Odell on that boat with them Timbs on, they have yet to win a game since. You notice that?
I do. You're right. I didn't pick them. You did.
Odell need to pay to have that scrub. Then you got to get that off the well because as long as it's up there, things ain't going well for them. Skip, this is not the same team. You don't get to pick up, and that's the one thing that Mike would always like. Look, guys, you don't pick up from where you left off last year. I know you were 13-3. We had the league leading rusher. We had the rookie of the year. That's not going to help you in 2017. And teams got, Skip Bayless, that big offensive line. We got the best line in football. You can't touch that. You can't stop Zeke. All them defensive guys like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm going to put a stop to this. And guess what? They put a stop to Zeke Elliott. They forced Dak Prescott. He's not as accurate as he was last year. How many interceptions did he throw last year, Skip?
4.
How many he got right now, Skip?
I don't know. Ask the research.
Skip, don't do that, Skip. See, Skip, why you try to, look here. You try to drive a wedge between me and Steve Owens, not the guy that won the Heisman, but that's not going to happen.
He won a Heisman. You can't take that away from him.
Not this one.
Yes, he did.
This one.
I mean, that's impressive that he came all the way from winning a Heisman to working for you.
Yeah, he be a little old right now, so I don't really know how good his research will be. Skip, they're not the same team. I know you want them to be. You want them to be what they were last year, and they're not, and it's okay. Well, not in your case, it's not okay because you don't want to have me deal with me every day. Every week they lose. I come in here with a red Solo cup on that dog. Oh, my goodness. What a sight.
Yep. So,
Objective.
I got, at this point at the quarter pole, I got lots of problems and concerns with my Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to enumerate them in just a moment.
Okay.
But the question is about what happened last Sunday. And I do remind you that on opening night, I don't think you thought this about my Dallas Cowboys because that was just a tour de force. That was destruction of an Eli and company who had beaten them twice. Really, their only 2 losses all last year were at the hands of Eli and company. And they got revenge. And maybe it was the worst thing that happened because they were strutting their stuff.
Even you were strutting.
I felt pretty good.
Yeah, you did.
I did, because that's the team. And that happened in 2016. That didn't happen in 2015. So that actually counts on this year's resume, as did Sunday's first half. I told you going in, the Rams are a loaded football team on both sides of the ball. They got weapons and they got studs on defense. And Seattle's going to have a hard time with the Rams coming up this Sunday. That's going to be something to watch. That's your pick to win it all. Are you sweating that one?
Because think about it, Skip. Jeff Fisher kept his job for a couple of years because he beat Seattle and he could beat Arizona. He lose everybody else, but he could beat those 2 teams.
That is correct. So against that loaded Rams football team that I feared in the first half, my team rang up 287 yards. That's a lot of first half yards. And held them to 131, which by my defensive standards this year, that was pretty impressive. 18 minutes to 12 minutes, controlling the clock. That'll work. That's 2016, right? That's the MO. 24 points scored, but unfortunately the kid from North Carolina tries to play hero with the punt, and it wrecked the momentum and kept it from being a first half blowout. And I knew it was coming because my team had played a tough road Monday nighter. And that team, the Rams, had 10 days to recover and recuperate from the last time they played. So they were fresh in the second half. My team started running out of gas, especially my running back, who still doesn't look in the best shape to me. And I wish they had spelled Ezekiel Elliott a little bit more, because that Alfred Morris guy, remember that guy?
Yeah.
The one touch he had in the first half, what happened? He was just about gone, right?
Yeah.
What was it, 70 yards he went with the ball? So you got to let him touch the ball a little more to keep Zeke a little fresher down the stretch. And in the second half, the roof fell in on my defense because I didn't have the quarterback and by far the best player in the driving force of my defense, Sean Lee. And if you take him away, I'm with you. They're not very good.
You had him in the first half.
Did not have him. No,
Yeah.
Sean Lee was out
I
the whole
know.
game.
That's my point.
Oh, what do you mean, first half of the year?
No, my point was he wasn't there in the first half.
Yeah.
And you got out to that big lead.
I know, because you went 18 minutes. You controlled the clock, 18 to 12.
So when you say 18, 12.
So the problem is you don't have Anthony Hitchens. You don't have Nolan Carroll. Scandry's playing with the broken hand. All of a sudden, the war of attrition wins. You lose it. And down the roof falls in at Jerry World, because the Rams go for 309 yards in the second half, and you pile up 125. And the clock goes to 19 minutes to 11 minutes for the Rams. That's the recipe for disaster in the second half. So I'm going to hang my hat on the first half, because they'll slowly but surely get healthier on defense. I'm hoping Sean Lee can play against your man, Aaron Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football in the history of pro football. And yet, I have concerns because they get too Dez dependent when the chips are down. When they're up against it, Dak keeps looking for 88, and he ain't there anymore. And just look at the targets. In the 2 losses, he has 29 targets in 2 losses. In the 2 wins, 11 targets to Dez. What does that tell you? Don't throw it to 88 so much. Spread it out. Throw it to somebody else.
Hold on.
Huh?
Why we paying them 14 mil.
That is correct.
Well, we need to
Fortunately,
get open.
he's not that guy who got that deal in 2015.
Well, see, Mike Shanahan, when we played the Raiders man team, Kansas City man team, he said, guys, if you can't beat man cover, you got 2 choices. You either selling cars or you're coaching. Now, John said he's not hiring any more salesmen. John Elway owned car dealership.
Yep.
He's not hiring any more car salesmen. And my coaching staff is filled. So basically, if you can't beat man coverage as a receiver and tight end, you're going to be out of a job.
That is correct.
Okay, Dan.
So guess who else we have? This guy named Bryce Butler. Every time he makes a play, it's a splash play.
Big time.
So I want to see, I can't, they're not going to do this, but I want to see Bryce Butler instead of 88.
Where's your boy T. Will? Where's your boy Beasley?
Throw it to him.
Skip.
Beasley.
I can't understand why fatigue didn't affect your team in the first half when they rang up 285 yards.
87.
Or 287 and had the ball for 18
Well,
minutes.
because obviously, if you keep playing, the longer you play, the tireder you get. When you played on a road Monday night against a tough team.
So what happened in the second half? Why y'all only had the ball for 11 minutes?
Ran out of gas. And my offensive line was supposed to be the best. It's just not the best anymore. Ronald Leary went to you guys, my guard, but I can't believe because the 3 studs are still there. 3 ranked in, the top 25 of all players?
All players.
And they're not playing to that level because Lyle Collins is really good, but he moved from guard out to right tackle for Doug Free, but he's still there. So you would think it would be really good. Well, maybe they need to get kicked in their butt again, and they got kicked in the second
Oh, it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Daniels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you're challenging my line. You're saying they ain't all that, right?
And if Jared Goff can throw for almost 300, I already know what that man going to do up in Green Bay.
Oh, he'll throw for, you know what? He might go for the Tony Romo number. He might go for 506.
No, don't worry. He don't need that. He don't need all that.
Yeah, he does.
No, he don't.
Come on.
400 though.
Well, they don't have any other thing. They can't run it.
And guess
they
what?
can't play defense.
And guess what? When I come in here on Monday, red Solo cup, a deck of cards, have a bag of ice,
Really?
have some tater salad cooked up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have me a
Got
cookout.
thing hanging out.
Yeah, I'm going to be on them grapes, though, this time.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah. It's happening.
Okay. Well,
Is
I'm
Aaron
not
Judge
betting.
on the verge of being a superstar? We'll discuss that with Rob
What?
Parker next.
Really?
You play spades, Joe?